Imagine a show where giant robots fight monsters, but the real battle is inside the pilot's head. That's Evangelion, a 90s anime that starts with cool mecha fights and ends with a psychological meltdown so intense, it practically invented the term mind screw. We're diving deep into the psyche of this anime, and trust me, it gets weird. We're talking about a show that's less about fighting aliens, and more about fighting yourself. So buckle up because we're about to explore the 5 reasons why Evangelion is more than just an anime. It's a psychological roller coaster that will leave you questioning everything. Alright, let's talk about Hideaki Anno, the mad genius behind Evangelion. Imagine this. You're in charge of one of the most anticipated anime of the decade, but you're also drowning in depression. Most people would crack under the pressure, right? Not Anno. Instead of letting the darkness consume him, he poured his pain into the show. Enter Shinji Ikari, our hero, except he's not your typical shonen protagonist. Shinji isn't some hot-blooded hero who wants to save the world. He's a 14-year-old kid who's scared, lonely, and would rather listen to his Walkman than fight giant monsters. Okay, time for the giant robots in the room, literally. These aren't your typical clunky mecha. Evangelion's Evas are biomechanical nightmares fueled by the souls of dead people. These things are less robot, more monster in a metal suit. And they hate it. The Evas are the physical embodiment of that pain. They writhe, they scream, they bleed, because they're reflections of the pilot's own internal struggles. They're giant, walking metaphors for the trauma that haunts us all. It's a twisted, brilliant concept that elevates Evangelion from a cool robot anime to a profound exploration of the human condition. Chapter 3. The ending will make you go what? The last 2 episodes of Evangelion are infamous for ditching the giant robot fights and diving headfirst into the deep end of psychological horror. Imagine watching an episode about giant robots only to be hit with a slideshow of characters asking you, "Do you hate yourself?" Fans were furious. They wanted epic battles, not existential dread. But Anno was playing a different game. He knew his audience. He knew we were all hiding behind these giant robots, using them to escape our own problems. So he ripped the band-aid off, forcing us to confront the darkness within ourselves. It was a bold move, a risky move, and it cemented Evangelion's legacy as one of the most thought-provoking anime of all time. Chapter 4. The villain isn't a monster. It's you, and kind of everyone. We've got giant robots, we've got psychological trauma, but what about the villains? In Evangelion, the real enemy isn't some giant monster, it's humanity itself. Specifically, it's our desire to escape pain, loneliness, and the burden of individual existence. The show introduces this concept called instrumentality, basically a giant cosmic reset button that merges everyone into a single blissful consciousness. But Evangelion argues that true strength comes from embracing our individuality, even with all its flaws and imperfections. It's about accepting the pain, the loneliness, the fear, because those are the things that make us human. Chapter 5. The creator came back 20 years later to fix his mistakes, sort of. After years of fan theories and endless debate, Anno decided to revisit the world of Evangelion with a series of new movies called Rebuild of Evangelion. These movies start off similar to the original series but quickly veer off into uncharted territory. In these films, Shinji finally starts to break free from his cycle of self-destruction. He confronts his father, he reaches out to his friends, and he even learns to accept himself. The final scene of the last Rebuild movie is just live-action footage of Anno standing by the ocean, smiling. It's a powerful message of hope, suggesting that even in the darkest depths of despair, there is always light to be found. Outro, don't run away. So, what did we learn today? Evangelion is more than just giant robots and explosions, though it has plenty of those too. It's a reflection of our own inner struggles, a reminder that pain is a part of life, and that running away from our problems only makes them worse. Next time you feel lost, remember Shinji's scream. Reach out to a friend, talk to a therapist, or just allow yourself to feel your emotions fully. Embrace the messy, complicated beauty of being human. Evangelion is a show that will stay with you long after the credits roll.